The question that everybody wants to know, is Nas's brand new album, King Disease, gonna live up to the hype? Is it gonna be his next classic album? Is it gonna be better than Illmatic, or it was written some of his early work that was a definite classic? Yo, I'm reviewing this joint. Let's find out. It's your boy AP. Now, the title of the album, King's Disease, is also the first track on the album. And it starts off, y'all, real soulful. It kind of gives me that reminiscent feeling of what Jay-Z kind of was on the Blueprint album that came out almost 20 years ago. Actually, yeah, 2001, almost 20 years ago. It starts off real soulful. Hit Boy channels his inner 1970s sound on this one. And Nas is, he's potent with the lyrics. Nas is pretty much talking about King's Disease. It's actually ironic that he called it that, because he's talking about basically your rise and your fall, the pitfalls, the things we all have to go through in life, whether you're a king or you're a queen, or you just somebody that's working a 9 to 5, the struggles that we got to go through in life. Pretty dope track, y'all. It was aight. Pretty nice track. Full disclosure, track 2, Blue Benz, is one of my favorite, if not my favorite song on the album. Hit Boy goes crazy with the pianos on this song. This song is reminiscent of that old Nas feel from the late 90s. I'm definitely loving this one. Car 85 featuring Charlie Wilson. I've never been the biggest, full disclosure, once again, I've never been like the biggest Charlie Wilson fan. Even when growing up as a kid, I always I know he's the founding member and a lead singer of the group, the Gap Band, one of the most legendary bands of all time. I'm not taking anything away from that, but it's just something about Charlie Wilson's voice that I never gravitated towards. But anyway, that's just going off the subject. Car 85 is the next joint, and it's smooth. Charlie Wilson is not really predominantly featured, singing on a chorus throughout the whole track, which I like. He kind of just providing a little background vocal. It's a little smoothed out joint, it's a smoothed out Nas, kind of, his subject matter, he pretty much reminiscing on it. It's all right, it's okay. It's not one of my favorite joints, but we'll take it. And then after that, we got the lead jump off single that I know y'all done heard and everybody done heard, Ultra Black. And when I first heard Ultra Black about 2 weeks ago, I was like, it's okay, nice little warm-up single, whatever. Hit Boy on the production, as of course, because he's doing the whole album. But Ultra Black, he, basically talking about black empowerment. And that's a major, quick sidebar note. Black empowerment is pretty much the theme of this album, y'all, by the way, too. We're going to get into that a little bit later. But yeah, Ultra Black, it's all right. So Car 85 and Ultra Black, not two of my favorite joints on there, but they'll do. They kind of like fillers on the album. Next track up is called 27 Summers. Then we come to Flashy Talk. Now this one is more like an updated, Nas kind of a feel, because this is the beat by Hit Boy gives me that T.I. feel or Young Jeezy feel, something you will hear them rhyme and spit over, which is cool, It got like a little trap sound to it, a kind of, 2020 kind of sound, it's cool, but more empowerment talk on this one. Like I said, that's the theme of the album, it seems like. But Nas, one of my favorite quotes, well, not one of my favorite quotes, but one of the quotes that I wanted to point out to you that he's definitely on his Black Power movement on this whole album was that he says, black grown, black owned, black women is the backbone, black car, black roads, more black CEOs. So as you could clearly tell, Nas is taking his CEO approach on this album, I would say, because Nas is like, he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He's invested his money and invested in companies that's bringing him buku money. So Nas is on that Jay-Z CEO level. So that's kind of like, the vibe of pretty much what he's saying. And I'm not gonna say the vibe of the whole album, but it's just like, you could tell that Nas is at a different place and a different stage in his life right now by the material and the content on the album. So, just take that for what it is. Replace Me. Now, this one right here is featuring Big Sean and Don Toliver. Now, the beat is cool. I like it. It has an auto-tune hook, which I thought that I wouldn't like because I've never been a fan of those singy-songy, that auto-tune, that auto-tune that was popular years ago. But it's cool. I actually like it. The subject matter is talking about a female, talking about relationships. And anybody that knows me personally knows that I love the hip hop, female, the girl tracks, you know, whoever one of my favorite artists is, or if I'm listening to an album and I'm digging it, and if they got a joint on there that's talking about, you know, situationships or entanglements or relationships, I love them kind of tracks. But this one is cool, you know, Nas versus I, you know, Big Sean verse was, you know, it was pretty good. It was okay. It was all right, you know. So this is something that I definitely, you know, play in the car, you know what I'm saying, with a little shorty or something like that, you know. To the War is one featuring Little Durk. Now, at first glance, this is an awkward pairing, Nas and Little Durk. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too familiar with Little Durk, but he's from the younger generation, you know, that, you know, I'm not going to say mumble rap because I hate that term and I hate to put hip hop when people hate, you know, I don't like when people put, you know, younger hip hop in a box like that. But, you know, Little Durk is from the younger generation. And it's awkward, like I said, at first it's kind of awkward that you would think Nas would collaborate with somebody like that. But Nas, believe it or not, he said on Hot 97 that he actually wanted this collaboration with Durk because he feeling him, which is cool. But To the War is one is basically talking about the strength of black women. It's talking about, you know, black women and, you know, black single mothers. So the message is cool, you know, but full disclosure, you know, it wasn't a track that I really liked. You know, I was talking to my man this morning, my man VA Vance, he hit me up and he was like, he actually liked the fact, you know, that, you know, Nas is venturing out and, you know, collaborating with, you know, the younger generation. So, you know, shout out to everybody that's feeling it, you know what I'm saying? But full disclosure, you know what I'm saying? Full disclosure, it wasn't really a track, you know, that I was feeling like that. It wouldn't get replay value. I listened to it once like I did last night at the crib and, you know, let that be it. But, you know, I definitely like the fact that Nas is, you know, trying different things, you know, but it just didn't work for me. Now up next, we got my man Anderson .Paak on this next upcoming one. It's called All Bad. It's another relationship joint, y'all. I told you, I like the joints for the ladies, you know what I'm saying? Nas actually has a couple relationship songs on this album. It's about maybe 3 or 4 joints where he's talking about situations with ladies and stuff like that. But Anderson .Paak is not only on the hook, he's pretty much singing throughout, on and off throughout the whole song pretty much. Normally, I love Anderson .Paak, you know what I'm saying? But on this one, it was just okay. It was all right. You know, one of my favorite lines, though, that Nas said was, he said, and I can relate to this one, full disclosure. He said, texting me that they hate me. He says, texting me they hate my one-word answers, talking about the ladies. Texting me that they hate my one-word answers. Here's 2, call me. This is you, stalling. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, y'all, when we text women back with one-word answers, that could be disastrous depending on the situation. But, you know, the song, it was all right. It was average, you know what I'm saying? Not nothing that I would continuously play. It was okay. Then after that, we got The Definition featuring the world, Brucey B. And if you don't know about Brucey B, the world famous Brucey B from NYC, from New York City, I'm telling you, you better Google him. Brucey B is, you know, Brucey B. If you saw Paid in Full, and, you know, you got the, you know, from years ago, the movie Paid in Full, then you know who Brucey B. You've heard of Brucey B. He's pretty much a DJ, you know what I'm saying? But his voice is what stands out the most. It's the world famous Brucey B. I can't imitate him like how I want to, but shout out to Brucey B. But anyway, getting off subject, this is another joint. It's a politically charged song. Nas is talking about, you know, subjects of what's going on right now, global warming. He even talks about, brings up Gayle King's name on this song. And if you're familiar with Gayle King and how, you know, she, you know, been treating black men over the last couple years, then you already know why he brought her name up. So it's cool. It's called The Definition, featuring the world famous Brucey B. Let's bring everything full circle. Now this is the joint right here featuring The Firm. And if you know anything about Nas, that's the crew he came up with once he, you know, blew up and did the It Was Written album, his second album. You know what I'm saying? He formed The Firm with AZ. He was always rolling with AZ in the beginning. And he was always rolling with Cormega in the beginning too, because he wrote about Cormega on Illmatic on the song One Love. And then, you know, Foxy Brown kind of just made it into the fold. And then, you know, Nature, who's not on the song, Nature was another Queens MC from Queensbridge that Nas, you know, came up with. But anyway, this song features AZ, Cormega, and Foxy Brown. The combination of them were the original Firm before Nature joined the group. But anyway, not to confuse y'all with all my hip hop history. Anyway, the song, this one right here, the beat was kind of mellow. The beat is mellow. I thought it was going into it, I thought it was going to be a more up-tempo kind of beat, you know, because it got, you know, the classic lineup of the Firm on there. but the beat was kind of laid back. AZ, best verse on there. AZ quietly, has the best verse, got the best verse on Nas' whole album. But especially on that song, AZ shined. AZ verse was immaculate. AZ has always been, I'm not gonna say slept on, but AZ has always been that dude that you could count on for a hot album, for a classic verse. And AZ doesn't disappoint on this one. I mean, AZ, it was a time back in the early 90s when people were saying that AZ was better than Nas. I was one of them that had him running neck and neck. But AZ, he lit this song on fire, followed by Cormega, who does his thing. I love Cormega's verse. Cormega was spitting on there too. Foxy Brown, y'all, who we ain't heard from in a minute. Foxy Brown her verse was all right, you know what I'm saying, considering, going into it, what I thought she might be talking about. Her verse was cool, so this is definitely one of the standout joints on the album. I liked it. Let's take some time with it. When you listen to it, take some time with that AZ verse, y'all. Run that joint back like 10 times because it's that hot. Then after that, full circle, we got 10 points. The beat is kind of dope. Nas is talking about uplifting again on this track. 10 points. Hit Boy, like I said, does his thing with the beat. The beat is kind of dope. Nas is talking about rising above your situation, stop holding on to the past, time to elevate. So like I said, that's the kind of like the theme that Nas is keeping on the album. Then we got the song called The Cure. Now, I said this when I heard it last night and when I heard it yesterday. I played this album like twice yesterday. Got to give it the whip test while you in the wheel, and then you got to play it, while you at the crib. And also you got to play it on your phone too. But listen, The Cure, this joint right here, quietly the best song on the album. The beat by Hit Boy is flames. The track was fire. The track kind of like switches up in the middle. It's dope. Nas says in this song, one of the lines that stood out to me: could miss your kids and hit your grandkids for your dishonor. That's generational curses. They said they want the old Nas back. Play the clue tapes for old verses. And that's kind of like a whole nother topic that people always say, man, I want the old Nas. I want the Illmatic Nas, the It Was Written Nas, that early 90s Nas. Well, y'all, it's kind of hard to put a 50-year-old man inside of a 20-year-old person's body. So I don't think we're going to be getting that Nas no time soon. You know what I'm saying? I want that Nas back. I want that Primo Nas, that P-Rock Nas, that Havoc Nas with the production. But I don't know, y'all. It's been some albums and we ain't got that. And Nas is like 51 about to be. So I don't think we're going to get that. And there's nothing wrong with changing your style up, because when you're older, like Nas said in the song 10 Points, you're supposed to elevate. But, we not holding now. Let's just keep that hope that maybe we can get that early 90s sounding Nas back. But, you can't, I can't put myself inside from 25 years ago, inside my 20-year-old body, my 18, 19-year-old body. I can't put myself in that mentality. So, same thing with Jay-Z. A lot of people want the Reasonable Doubt Jay-Z back, but how can we seriously, take ourselves back to a time when we were younger, more immature, and we know better? I could try to do it. We could try to do it, but, I think, a lot of people want that old sound, and there's nothing wrong with that, because I want it too, but, we got to elevate, time to move on. I'm not saying let's move on and let's forget about that, because that's what hip-hop fans of Nas really want. But, for right now, we got to deal with what he gave us. And the last song on there is called Spicy, featuring, I'm going to mess his name up, Fabio Foreign and ASAP Ferg from Harlem. New dudes in the game, he put the new dudes on again, new rappers. Like I said, ASAP Ferg, the verse was weak. Not impressed with Fabio Foreign. It's an average track at best. It's spicy. They talking spicy, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, King's Disease, Nas album to close this out. It was okay. It was a nice little, it was good to hear Nas over some fresh sounding tracks, some 2020 sounding beats, because another one of Nas's hangups is that he, picks the most obscure, weakest tracks. So it was good to hear him on some up-to-date kind of stuff. The album was okay. It was cool. When I first listened to it on my phone, I thought the album was crazy. Then I put it in the wheel. I listened to it. I was like, that's all right. Then I listened to it again, get at home more thoroughly, and listen to the lyrics. It's okay, y'all. If you want Nas on some joints that sound cool, up to date, it's all right. It's all right. We're gonna go with the old Source magazine rating. If we doing out of 5 mics or 5 stars, I'm gonna give this joint about 3.5. It's cool. It's cool. Is it his best album that he's dropped in the last 10 years? No, it's not better than what's the album with the Khalees dress on there? It's slipping my mind right now, but it's definitely better than the N-Word album. That album was kind of like all over the place. It's definitely better than that. It's better than the last Kanye West album that he came out with like a year or two ago with the 10 tracks from Kanye. It's better than that. That album was it was all right, whatever. It's just another album. Life is Good. It's not better than Nas's Life is Good album. So if you're expecting better than Life is Good or better than Stillmatic, nah, you're not gonna get that. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay, which is cool. It's okay to be okay. Everything doesn't have to be outstanding, but we do expect outstanding from Nas. It's your boy, AP.